Hello everyone, today we're going to be seeing if the average human can beat these Clashroyale cards in the rare edition. The way it work will be exactly the same as last time, where the average human's height will be 5'10", which is the average British man's height. The human will have average build, average speed, average agility, average everything basically. I'll be ranking them based on this tier list from S to F tier, S tier being that the human will absolutely destroy the card, and F tier being the opposite. There's one main difference between this video and the last video, and that is that I'm actually going to be giving the human a sword this time, which they can use to fight. This is because if I didn't give them this, they'd lose every fight and every card is going in F tier. Anyway, with that, let's get straight into the video. Okay, we've been blessed with a nice and easy one to start with. It's the heal spirit. Like every other spirit, all it's going to do is jump on you, disintegrating down on its own. The humans don't even need to fight back. All the humans need to do is just survive the impact of the jump, and then they win immediately. So that's why for me, this is going straight into S tier, no problems. Okay, next up we got the Mega Minion. Now obviously the Mega Minion can fly and the humans can't, but this was a lot closer than you think for one reason. The Mega Minion has to get close to the human to actually attack it, because the Mega Minion is not a long range troop. That's why I'm saying when the Mega Minion gets close, all the human needs to do is grab their sword and stab it. This one's pretty 50-50 because it depends if the Mega Minion gets the first attack or the human does. That's why for me it's going in C tier. Okay, next up we got the Ice Golem. And if you look at it at face value, it's just a walking snowman. Any human is beating a snowman, bro, even with or without a sword. I've seen many humans punch through snow before. I'm sure even if the Ice Golem manages to get to the human and grab them, its hand is just going to melt on them. And that's why for me, I'm saying the humans easily win, and this is going in S tier. Okay, next up we've got our first guaranteed F tier and our first spell, which is the Fireball. I don't want to hear anything about this. The Fireball is killing every human, bro. If I see anyone try and argue that a human's going to be able to survive a Fireball in the comments, I'm removing your comment, bro. Even if the human doesn't survive the initial impact, they're just going to burn alive after. That's why for me, like I said, it's going straight in F tier. Okay, next up we've got the Giant. Now obviously a 30-foot giant that has super strength is going to be a 5'10" human. Unless, I remember learning in school about some ancient stories of David and Goliath, where David actually wins and beats the giant. That's why for me, I'm saying that there's a small chance that the human's actually going to be able to stab the giant in both of its legs and then slay it, which is why it's going in D tier, not F tier. Okay, next up we've got another quite easy one. It's the Tombstone. Like I said in the last video, I'm pretty sure humans are able to beat 1'5" skeletons. Even without the sword, the human can just step on all of the skeletons and kill them. The only thing that's stopping me from putting this in S tier is that the skeletons might be able to surround the human. Then they may climb up the human's clothes and go inside its mouth and claw at its intestines or something like that. Because the skeletons have a small chance of winning, that's why I'm putting this in A tier, not S tier. Okay, next up we've got the Elixir Golem. In the thousands of scenarios I can think of in my head, the Elixir Golem wins in every single one of them. I think the sword that the human has is pretty useless because the Elixir Golem is basically slime. The sword might just get stuck or not affect the Elixir Golem at all. Furthermore, if the human does manage to defeat the big Elixir Golem, it's just going to duplicate and it's going to be too much for the human to handle. That's why this is going straight into F tier. Okay, next up we've got the Battle Healer. Now this is a bit of a strange one because it's very similar to the average human that we've got right now. Obviously the Battle Healer is a woman and we've got the average man. And based on pure genetics, the average man is a higher chance of winning than the average woman. They both have swords, but the Battle Healer actually has the healing ability. You know the Battle Healer can heal itself when it actually attacks. If the humans attack first, the Battle Healer isn't surviving one stab to the heart. Now there are arguments that can be made for both sides here, but for me personally, I'm backing the human more so, which is why I'm putting this in B tier. Okay, next up we've got the Flying Machine, and this is probably straight into F tier. There's no way that the human's going to be able to reach the Flying Machine. I can see a scenario where the Flying Machine just sits back and fires cannonballs until it runs out. If even one cannonball hits the human, it's going to go straight through them and cause them to bleed out. This, along with the fact that the human has no way to attack the Flying Machine, means I'm putting this in F tier. Okay, next up we got the Royal Hogs. It's 4 pigs with armor on that are trying to kill you. I don't think pigs have tusks in real life, but in the game they do. The Royal Hogs have so many advantages over the humans. First of all, there's 4 of them, so they easily outnumber the human. Even if the human manages to stab one of the hogs, then they've got 3 more to worry about. The only scenario where I see the human winning this is if they build up, like in Minecraft or something like that. You know when Minecraft characters build up to avoid the Iron Golem. If the human does that with the Royal Hogs have no way of reaching them, then the human can just stab them all one by one. Obviously, I think that the Royal Hogs are going to win more times than not. But for me, because of that 1%, I'm putting this in D tier, not F tier. Okay, next up we've got our first building of the day, which is the Inferno Tower. Now, in my last video, I saw some very interesting comments in the comment section saying that because the buildings have a timer, you could just wait out the buildings for them to die on their own. I do like this concept a lot. I think to make the video fair, we're going to say that buildings don't have a time limit, and that's exactly the reason why Inferno Tower is going straight into F tier. There is no way the human's going to get close enough to even attack the Inferno Tower. The Inferno Tower is going to laser you down straight away. The human's not agile enough to dodge out of the way or anything like that. So I think I made the right call putting this straight in F tier. Okay, next up we've got another building straight away, which is the Bomb Tower. Now, people might call me crazy, but I think that the Bomb Tower is a bit easier to beat than the Inferno Tower because the Inferno Tower, it locks straight onto the human. There's no way that the human can dodge it. With the Bomb Tower, there's a small chance that the human might be able to dodge out of the way of all the bombs, and the human might be able to get to the tower in time and stab it. I know that the Bomb Tower explodes the human 98 out of 100 times. Obviously, there's no way that the average human is surviving a bomb like that. Because there's a small chance that the human might be able to win and dodge the bombs, I'm putting this in D tier. Okay, next up we've got the Suspicious Bush. The average human has a high enough IQ to notice that there's a moving bush next to them. The human would easily smoke these weird goblin creatures, just get the sword out and stab them both. I know that they've got these crazy hammers, but I think they're so slow that they're not going to be able to get the attack off in time. That's why I'm saying that the humans destroy the Suspicious Bush almost every time, which is why I'm going to put this in A tier. Okay, next up we got the Valkyrie. In my humble opinion, yeah, I think that a battle axe is a way better and cooler weapon to have than a regular sword. I know what you guys are thinking, oh, the Valkyrie's a woman, it's easily gonna get destroyed by the average man. I'm pretty sure I saw in like a Thor movie or something that a Valkyrie's the trained special assassin or something like that. Obviously the humans got a good chance of surviving because they've got their own sword and they're probably a bit stronger than the Valkyrie. I was thinking that this fight could go either way, which is why I'm putting it in C tier. Okay, next up we got the Furnace, and I'm doing the Furnace troop that just came out. Last time in the comment video where I said that the Fire Spirit would get destroyed by every human, a lot of you guys disagreed in the comments. You guys said that the Fire Spirit would burn the human and absolutely destroy them. I'm going to take that into consideration. Even if you manage to dodge or kill all of the Fire Spirits and get to the main guy, he's got like a magic staff which is going to prod the average human with. This is a pretty clear F tier. Okay, next up we've got the single musketeer on its own. I know a lot of you are thinking that the musketeer would absolutely destroy the humans because it's long range and the humans have to actually get to the musketeer to kill it. I'm thinking that if the human is agile enough to dodge underneath or around the cannonballs, it can make its way to the musketeer and then like stab it in the legs or something and then kill it. Obviously there's a chance that the cannonballs might hit the humans, and like I said before, the cannonballs would leave a hole in the human and they would die. And the likelihood that the humans dodge all the cannonballs is very low, but it's not impossible, so I'm going to put this in D tier, not F tier. What is impossible though is dodging 3 cannonballs at the same time. Not possible. Obviously next up I'm talking about 3 musketeers. This is going straight into F tier. There's no way that the human is dodging 3 cannonballs at the same time that are getting plummeted at you. Even if the human somehow, some way manages to get to one of the musketeers, there's still 2 more that are going to be shooting you in the back. No questions asked, this is straight into F tier. Okay, after that long list of cards going near the bottom, we finally got an S tier. It's the Elixir Collector. Unless the human trips and falls and cracks their skull while walking up to the Elixir Collector, there's no way that the Elixir Collector wins because it can't fight back. All the human needs to do is just roll up to it and then take it apart. Finally going into S tier, no questions asked. Okay, next up we've got another spell, it's the Earthquake. Now give me a Chantica, I know all of you are going to put this in F tier. I learned in geography that during earthquakes, most humans die from falling buildings and stuff like that, not the actual ground shaking itself. That's why I'm saying if there is nothing to fall onto the average human, they're not really going to die, all they're going to do is just jump out. Obviously there's a chance that the human might fall and break a bone or something like that. But if the human is careful enough and agile enough, they'll easily be able to survive the earthquake by just avoiding tall buildings. Because it's 50-50, I'm going to put this in C tier. Next up, we've got my day 1 card. It's the mini PEKKA. Obviously, the mini PEKKA is mini. It's probably about 4 foot compared to the 5'10" human. Both the human and the mini PEKKA have a sword. The main thing I'm concerned about is that the mini PEKKA is a machine. It's actually programmed to kill. You got to think tactically because you know that the mini PEKKA is obsessed with pancakes or something like that. What I'm saying is you can leave a plate of pancakes out, wait for the mini PEKKA to go up and eat them, and then stab it from behind. Obviously, this has a very low possibility of happening. In most scenarios, the mini PEKKA is going to come all Dexter Morgan on you, come and chop your legs off and then stab you. That's why for me, I know it's crazy, I'm putting this in C tier. Okay, next up we've got my personal favourite building, which is the Goblin Cage. Now obviously the Goblin that comes out of the cage is unarmed, but from what I've seen they're moving like Prime Mike Tyson. Now answer me this question, could the average human today with a sword beat Prime Mike Tyson in a fight? My answer, obviously, but there's a small chance that Mike Tyson will be able to come, knock the sword out of your hand and knock you out. Mike Tyson isn't surviving multiple stabbings to the body, and neither is the Goblin Bruiser. That's why I'm putting this in A tier. The humans with a sword would probably most likely beat them. Okay, next up we're going to see if human can survive a head-on-head collision with a rocket. F tier. Okay, next up we've got the Goblin Hut. Now this is quite an interesting one. And in the last video I put spear goblins at B tier or something because I thought that the goblins would not have enough power to throw the spears and pierce the human. I still believe that. Obviously there's a chance that the goblins will be able to surround the human and then all throw spears at the same time and the human could do nothing about it. But a human with a sword should easily be able to stab a bunch of 2-foot goblins. That's why I'm putting this in B tier. Okay, next up is the Wizard. It's a man throwing fireballs at you. Earlier I put a giant fireball in F tier. Now I'm going to be putting hundreds of small fireballs in F tier also. There's no way the human is surviving a bunch of fire being thrown at them. I know I contradict myself by talking about the Fire Spirit, but I think the Fire Spirit is a lot weaker than the Wizard's fire shots. The human would be burnt alive. There's no way they're reaching the Wizard in time. This is going in F tier. Okay, next up we've got the most useless card in the game. It's the Barbarian Hut. It may be useless in the game, but outside the game, it's easily destroying every human. I'm pretty sure that if you let the Barbarian Hut go on its own, it spawns 8 Barbarians. Last time I put 5 Barbarians in F tier. This time I'm putting 8 Barbarians also in F tier. I know that the human has a sword this time, but there's no way that the human is being 8 armed men, all with swords as well. Straight into F tier. Okay, next up we've got the Zappies. I know I got absolutely cooked in the comment section of the last video because I said that humans might be agile enough to dodge lightning. I still believe that. There's no changing my mind. The humans might be able to dodge out of the way of all the lightning strikes that the Zappies show you. Even if they get hit by one, they're just going to suffer one little electric shock for 5 seconds. The humans are going to be able to reach the Zappies and stab them with a sword. I know there's a chance that the human might die of electrocution. I think that this is a 50-50 fight. I know a lot of you will disagree with me. I don't care. C tier. Okay, next up we've got my personal favourite card in the game, even after the nerf, is the Dart Goblin. Unfortunately, for the human, I'm going to have to put this in F tier. I don't really know what darts it fires. I'm pretty sure it just fires regular darts. They don't have tranquilizer in them or anything. First of all, the Dart Goblin's too fast, so the human won't even be able to reach it. The human's not going to be able to survive getting hit by 500 darts a minute. He's going to get pierced, the whole internal body organ system is going to shut down. That's why I'm putting this in F tier. You might as well go on a roll with the F tier ones here because we got the battle ram next. It's 2 armed men carrying a giant wooden pole trying to stab you with it. Even if you manage to get rid of the wooden pole, it's still 2 armed jack men trying to kill you. There's no way that the average human is strong enough or fast enough to beat them. That's why for me the battle ram is going straight into F tier. Okay, next up we got another crap useless card. It's the Goblin Demolisher. I don't know a single real life player that uses this card. However, for this video, we're going to say that it's quite powerful. It's literally a goblin that throws dynamite. It's got dynamite strapped around it like a suicide bomber. You guys might call me crazy, but I'm saying that the average human is agile enough to dodge out of the way of the dynamite. Obviously, I know that even if one dynamite blows up in the human's face, they're dead, they're done, they're finished. Which is why I'm very tempted to put this in F tier. I do think that there's a 1 in a million chance that the average human might be able to dodge out of the way of all the dynamite, make its way to the Goblin Demolisher and stab it. And because there's a small chance that the humans might win, I'm putting this in D tier. Finally, to end off the video, we've got everyone's favourite card. It's the Hog Rider. Obviously, the average human is not going to be able to easily take down a man who's got a hammer who's riding a pig. Even if the human manages to stab the pig, then the man is going to jump off and start whacking you with the hammer, and vice versa. If you stab the man, the pig's going to start ramming into you. It's pretty much a lose-lose situation for the human. There is a small chance that the human might be able to grab its sword and stab through both people at the same time, which is why I'm going to put this in D tier. Okay everyone, here's my final list. Thank you all for watching. Let's see if we can hit like 50 likes and make sure you comment what you disagree with. Thank you for watching. See you later.